Alright, it's me, vitze-how, or the resider, and I'm going to teach you rizz. Now, from the definition you see right here, rizz is short for charisma, and it simply means an ability to charm and woo a person. It's pronounced well rizz, and you can read the rest. So let me teach you W game. Number 1, you gotta approach and look into eye contact. That's pretty obvious. But you don't look at them like a weird. You gotta get a little bit of a rizz face going on, but you gotta also like you can't do like full on rizz face like the meme. You just gotta get a little bit like you get your cheeks a little bit dimpled. Just a tiny bit. Squint your eyes, not too much, just very little. Just look at them normally with a little bit of a rizz pattern going on. Also, your choice of words. So while you're having like a conversation about to start off a conversation first, you gotta be like, hey, how's your day? How's your week? She might reply back, like if she doesn't reject you immediately. Oh, my week is fine. My week, like anything really. I mean, if she says her week was bad, you gotta cheer her up somehow. You gotta cheer her up somehow, with something. I mean, a gift may be too far in that realm. I mean, you just met her. So you just gotta just keep it chill for now. The casual, you may say the casual, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What can I do for you? It's just chill. Just stay in your realm. You both barely even know each other. Just stay there. Now, what was I gonna say? I'm so sorry. What was I gonna say? So, another thing is you have to throw in compliments little by little with the perfect amount of space in your conversation. She might say, oh, thanks, I really appreciate it, or something. If she turns you down, give her space for a little bit of time. If she turns you down on any request, really, give her space for a long time, and she'll forget about that. She'll forget she rejected you. When you come back again, practice it. But let's say she doesn't reject you for now. I'll get to the other rejecting part and sense, later on in the video. So for now, I'm gonna talk about she says, oh yeah, you gotta throw a compliment like, hey, you beautiful. Maybe a little bit of a little bit of those catchphrases, but not too much, because too much just seems okay. Nah, maybe 1 or 2 in your whole conversation. But you just gotta throw in compliments like, hey, you beautiful. You're probably one of the best baddies I've seen in school. I mean, I'm not sure about the second one, but it can work either way. So that's what I have for that. And also, if you want to end your conversation, you gotta end your conversation. At the end of the day, gotta look at them back for 1 second, and then just don't do a look back. Just don't do a look back. And just go and continue on with your day. Now, we're gonna get into the second step, which is after you've done all that. This is before you walk out and finish the conversation with the baddie we're talking to. In between that, you can ask her number. But I forgot to mention, actually, you need to give her time, because this is probably the first time you guys have met. So you need to give her some space. And then when you get to know each other a little bit well, you become acquaintances, friends, close friends. That's where it's time to shoot your shot. I mean, you already shoot your shot before, but you gotta really shoot your shot right now. So you may ask her for a number. She might turn you down. Give her some space between that time frame, and just give her and then ask her again. Maybe she might forget the first time. Who knows? If she says yes the first time, you got her number. You can go out. Maybe she'll do your homework. 500 pages of Harry Potter. You're done. You may call her. She's like, oh, it's this boy. She answers the phone. You're like, there you go. Now you're gonna do the same thing, but you're gonna act like you know her, because you know her. You know, you maybe know her name, you maybe know what country she's from, like that. So you know her, right? Just gotta act like you know her. You can't act like, oh no. You gotta act like you know her. I said it like 6 times already. So do all those things. I'm gonna say it again. Do all those things that you did before. Compliments, perfectly spaced compliments. Maybe 2-1 catchphrases. But you know that you know her. To me, you know who that is. You know who you're talking to. You know what baddie you're talking to, right? And then, yeah. Maybe from there, give it 6 months. She'd probably become your girlfriend. 4 to 6 months, she could probably become your girlfriend. I'm not sure if for anything below that, but she could become your girlfriend. I might be solidified. So, let's focus on the parts that I talked about for turning down. So, you asked her for her phone number after you... Actually, no. Let's go back. Let's go back in time. You're doing your thing, right? You're saying, hey, how was your weekend? She said, it's good. I'm for the next part of this video of the rizz, I'm gonna talk about if she says it's bad. You cheer her up. But I'm gonna go more in depth than that in another video. And then another time. So, yeah. Basically, she says it's good, normal stuff. And then you just say, hey girl, you're beautiful. She says, okay. She's obviously icked out by that. No, not ick. Ick is immediately turned off. But she's okay, I really even know this more, but yeah, it's kind of 50-50. She feels 50-50. So, what you're gonna do is, for this part, what you're gonna do, if you sense that she's kind of iffy, just let the conversation flow. Make her forget about it. Do not ever dwell or make 5-second parts in those sentences, knowing that she's weirded out by that. Over 50-50. Continue the conversation smooth like butter. Then get a longer space between the compliments. And then she maybe feel 60-40, 70-30. So, that's it for that. Now, we are gonna get into the part with the phone. So you want her number, right? You want her digits. This is gonna be a little bit trickier, because this is more narrow. This is more straightforward, and it could really lead you to whether you're just gonna get that baddie or not. I mean, not like that, but it's gonna be pretty challenging, and it's gonna be a lot more work. So, right, you're talking with her, you did all those things, right? You got her. So you between that time frame, between the 2 month, 3 months, you gotta talk to her between those time frames. If you don't talk to her between 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you ain't gonna get that back. She's gonna forget about you. She's gonna forget about you in the first month if you never talk to her. So you gotta talk to her. You gotta memorize the hallway path. I'm gonna talk about that in another video. But for now, we're focusing on the numbers. So give it 2-3 months, right? 3 months. So you ask her for her phone number, and she's like, boy, no. And this is the thing. Asking her for her phone number again, let's say 3 months after, 3 months ahead, you ask her for her phone number again. She may forget about the first time. But just remember, you gotta be more consistent with it. You gotta start the conversation again. You gotta be longer. And the compliments need to be more compact in the space. Not too much. Definitely not. But just little. You gotta have that perfect boundary between simping and complimenting. If you're so be on the complimenting boundary right here, or inside the complimenting boundary. Do not step into the simping boundary. That's when your spaces are so compact It just makes it look like you're simping. That's gonna give you a bad image because listen, people can overhear what you're saying, and when they see you giving her compliments every 2 seconds, they're gonna be like, "That guy's a sim, bro. Like, bro, hop up." Like, that's just gonna be bad. It's gonna give you a bad reputation. So you gotta make it a little more compact, but like not too compact to the point where it's just simping. So when you're a little bit in the complimenting boundary line right here, you are in your best position because you're 3 months in of knowing her, or 6, even more. So she's gonna know you better, and she might feel you a little bit more. And then give it some space. Give it 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Ask her for a number. She's gonna be like, yeah, But she, yeah, I mean, she gotta be more honest than that. But yeah, she might be like, yeah, it's a good idea. She hands you her digits. She types it in your phone. You're like, hey, you got game. Let's say 2-3 months, between those time frames, you can ask her out. And that will be the time where you gotta go through like dates. Maybe 1 date, 2 months later, or 3 months later, another date, or just space it out. So, like, how this depends on the person, by the way. So if you recognize that personality, you have to you need to be wary of that. So like, okay, she's like that. She likes that. Because if you do it between like maybe 2 months, like first date, another 2 months, for like 7 days, she's like, you're going fast, She might be like that. Who knows? So you gotta memorize. I can't speak for everybody here. You gotta memorize her personality, because the girl I'm like representing right here, I'm not representing anyone. I'm just saying the girl I'm representing right here is just like, it's just my example in projecting of this rizz video. So the girl that you're meeting may not be like that, or even close. So you gotta memorize her personality, and you gotta take the steps that I listed into consideration while being wary of her personality. So you may change it up a little bit to make it more suitable for her personality. How's your weekend? She might be like, actually that's unrelated. Don't mind that. Like the how's your weekend thing. Just don't mind that. But mind everything I said before and after that point. I hope you know what I hope you know what I'm talking about. I'm so sorry. Mind everything I said, actually. So yeah. And then you might be a little bit deep. You might get deep to the point where she's comfortable with talking to you about her problems. And then you can get comfortable about you talking to her about your problems. That's where the relationship gets deep and you really know each other. Like, y'all really know each other. So that's going to be the deepest point. And then life can continue on from there. You go. And then let's say 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years, 6, 7, 8, you get married. That's where you are the closest. You two are the closest in your life. Now keep this in mind. Not every girlfriend's gonna last. Cause the same girl isn't gonna marry you. You gotta go through trial and error. She might turn you down on the first compliment you make. She might turn you down 30 months later. The same girl. You have to be wary of other people out there. So if you find someone that consistently bonds with you, and they and you get to know them a little bit more, you go fast forward. That can be your wife. Anyways, I hope you liked this video. Like and subscribe. I'll see you later.